Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're all doing great today. On today's video, I want to show you how to make a very simple straight skirt with a back vent slit. Okay, yeah, this is quite a straightforward one. Okay, yeah, so let's just get started. Here I already have the fabric folded. This one is for the front piece, and you can see here I already have my lining attached to it. Of course, your choice, you can choose to do it without lining, whichever way, but I'm adding lining to this, so I just attached my lining to it. And here I have the length of my skirt. The length of the skirt I'm working with is 25 inches. It's going to have a band of 2 inches. So because it's going to have a band that will attach to it, I have to take away that 2 inches band from the length of 25, which makes it what, 23 inches. Now, even at that 23 inches, I need a hemming allowance at the lower part because I'm going to fold this with the lining, as you can see. So I need about 1.5 inch for that. Then I also need about half of an inch that I'm going to use to join it back to the band that I'll be adding afterwards, okay, which makes it 2 inches extra that I needed. Of course, adding it back to the 23, I go back to the same 25 inches. I hope you understand. So what I have here now is 25 inches. In order to know the width, all you need to do is to use the biggest circumference, which in this case is the hip, divided by 4. Whatever it is you add about 3 to 5 inches. That will give you an idea of how you should fold your fabric, but 3 inches is okay. Okay, so that is what I have here. So I'll just go ahead now and indicate the markings. So on this top line will represent my waistline. So from the waistline, the hip line, I'll get it at 9 inches, which I have here, and of course the floor length of the dress. So I'll just go ahead and mark out this hip line. So the waist measurement is 30. If I divide it by 4, I have 7.5. So I'll go ahead here and mark out 7.5. Then I'm going to add an extra 3 inches of allowance to it. So I have this here. Then on this hip line, the hip is 39. Divided by 4 is 9.75. So I have 9.75 here. Plus, of course, extra 3 inches of allowance. Then for the lower part, I'm also going to input what I have here for the hip measurement. The same thing, because it's going to be a straight one. So 9.75, then of course the extra 3 inches of allowance. So if it was going to be a penciled one, I would have just go back in by either 1.5 or 2 inches, depending on how penciled you want it to be. But in this case, it's a straight one, so I'll just go ahead and connect the lines. Then of course from the waist to the hip. So guys, you can see this is ready. In order to create a point where I'm going to fix in my dart, I'll use the bust span measurement, which is 7. If I divide it by 2, I have 3.5. Add 0.5 into it, making it 4. So I'll come here and mark out 4. So I'm just going to mark notch here, which is going to what indicate my dart line. Then of course I'll go ahead and cut out the piece. So remember I said I'm going to be using 1.5 inches for hemming at the lower part. So I would like to indicate that as well and notch it. So I'll come here and mark out the 1.5 inch. So when I'm sewing it with my lining, I'll be able to see the lines. And that's it guys, we're done for this front piece. So I'll go ahead and cut out the back piece. So here is the back piece. This is what I'm using for the back piece. You can see some lines here. So this line is actually the width I need for the back vent, or you can call it the close-up slit, okay? And what I have here is what, 9.5 inches. And this 9.5 is inclusive of the zipper allowance. So I'm using a zipper allowance of say 1.5 inches, okay? So 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance, so which means I'm left with 8 inches which is for my slit. I hope you understand. 8 inches is going to give me my slit, then 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. So I'll just go ahead and indicate my 1.5 inches zipper allowance. So mind you, the slit now, you also have to determine how much of the slit that I want. First of all, this is the lower part. And remember, 1.5 inch is already going to go out of this lower part that I'm using for the hemming. So which means here is actually the end of the skirt, because at the end of the day, this 1.5 is going to be going inwards like this. I hope you understand that. Okay, so now means from here I'm going to determine the length of my slit. So I would like it to be, since it's a short skirt, maybe I'll do 6 or 7 inches. So let me do 7 inches. It's okay. So from the lower part of the skirt upward, I'm going to make the slit 7 inches. Okay, yes. So which means from this top here, I will only indicate the zipper allowance and end at this point where I have my slit. So I'll go ahead and indicate this now. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, the essence of this extra 8 inches we need for the back vent is just on this part where we're going to be creating the slit. That is the only place we need this. Okay, we don't need that allowance. The only allowance we need on this upper side is just the zipper allowance, but on this lower part, this is where we actually need that much of 8 inches, and which we are going to use to create the slit. I hope you understand that. So the cutting is going to go this way, and of course this way. Okay, it's as easy as that. So now that I have created this piece, I'll just go ahead and place my front piece this place. So here is my front piece we've already cut out. So I'm placing it here like this. So I'll just go ahead and trace all this out. So you can see this. So here we're done with all the cutting. What is left now is just to join this piece together. So I'll go ahead and take off this pins. So this for the front piece. We're going to be turning this now with the lining. So all I will do now is to take my lining and place it on the right side, okay? Right side facing each other. So I'm placing it like so. Remember, we gave a notch at the lower part, 1.5 inches, where I said we'll be going up. Okay, so this is how the sewing goes for the beginners, especially those beginners that are not familiar with this. So you are just going to come to the lower part. You're going to sew about half an inch this way. Okay, this was how it was, right? Then you fold it from that notch point this way and push back, so you can see this is how it's going to look from the other side. Okay, so the lining is going to be pushing out. So here you will now make a stitch, you sew it, take it all the way, and you're going to repeat the same thing on the other side too. You make a fold this way and you push out the lining. So when you're done sewing it by the side, so you see your lining is going to be pushing out this way. So by the time you turn it to the right side, then you'll be able to trim out the excesses. I hope you understand. So that's just it. Then for the back piece, you're also going to repeat similar process. So repeating the same process, just like we did, I'm going to sew straight down all the way to the other end. After that, you see the notch, I will repeat what I did for the front piece. Push this out and make a stitch on one side and the same thing on the other side. So once you're done stitching the sides, then at the center part here, you can see this. So you take it from here, half of an inch, this way, you can see, just follow the shape, and this way. That's it. But be sure to notch these edges, okay? So that when you're turning it over, it will be well relaxed. It's as easy as that, guys. Once you're done with that, just turn it over and give it a very good press. So I'll just go ahead and do what I've just demonstrated to you. Then of course I'll come back to show you the next step. So I'm here, guys. You can see I'm done using the lining to turn this out. So look at how the lower part of the skirt is. So this is for the front piece, and also this is how the back piece also look like. You can see this, and here. Okay, so what I'm going to do next now is I'm going to fix in the dart. So where I have my dart point notch out, I'm going to fix in a dart so about 4 to 5 inches, okay, for both the front piece and the back piece. So I'm going to do that. Then after that, then I'll fix in my band. I'll fix in my band before I fix my zipper. Okay, whichever way you actually want it. Depends on the kind of band you want to do. But I want to fix in the band first before I fix in the zipper. So here I cut out, remember we said 2 inches for the band that we minus when we're starting the cutting. So I've gone ahead to cut out a 2 inch width, which is going to fit into what I have on my waistline. So this one is for the back piece. So I splitted it into two. So I have here 2 inch width, but what I have here is 2.5 because I'm going to be sewing with half of an inch. So I'm still going to close the sides. I'll close the sides so that it could be closed up at the edge. Then I will sew it up and attach it here. So I'm going to sew like this, and at the end of the day, the band will be standing this way. By the time you fold this into two, your zipper is going to come, you are sewing 1 inch from up all the way. You stop at this point where you actually have the slit. Okay, so this is where your sewing is going to stop. Okay, so after that, then we can create the back vent. And here, guys, this band has been fixed. So you can see this is the front piece. Seeing the inside, I also make sure I weave the inside, okay, to clean up the edges. Very important. So here is the back piece. I've gone ahead to fix the zipper as well. So you can see this. So turning it to the other side. So this is where the zipper stops. At this point where I want it to actually get to. Then from there, I made a stitch straight down to that point where we have these excesses. So if you can see the chalk marking, the stitch came all the way and stopped at this point, which is where we have these excesses. Okay, so that's it, guys. So here now I'm going to start creating the vents. So what I will do, having this way, see the way it is now, I'll just take here as a center mark this point here. You can see this. Then I'll go ahead and make it into two, fold it into two like this. The reason why I'm doing it is I want to also have a midpoint on both sides. Okay, so I'm just folding it into two this way. You can see what I'm doing like this. So I'll just make a marking here and also turn it to the other side. Repeat the same process and also make a marking. So you can open it like this. You can see there's a mark here, and to the other side you can see this. So what I will do now is to pick up these 2 points I have marked here. I'm going to be picking it up like this so that I will have this in form of a kissing plate. So this is what I mean. I'm picking up this point here where I've marked. Then this other side, you can see I'm picking it up like this so that I can spread this down. So this first point I marked here now, you can see now it will now be on the center of this line where I have the zipper allowances. Okay, so it's very important. But just make sure that you adjust it properly so that when you raise it up, it's coming together. It's very important to have it like that. At this point, you might want to iron it down to have it in place. So I'm making sure that this point is matching up with what the zipper point. So once I have this mark at this zipper point, I would like to use my pin, and I want to also turn it to the other side. So I want to see how it looks, just to be sure that it's well relaxed, like you don't have any fabric binding together. Okay, so you can see this now from the outside already. So I'll go back to how I was. But then again, if you look at this, you can actually work with what you have here. You see, it's already a close-up seat already. You can see this. But I'm still going to make a pleat. You can work with what you have here already. You can see it's already closed up if you want it this way. But turning it to the other side in order to create more pleats. Okay, so I'll take off this pin here. Then this point that I have already marked here, I'm going to push it inward so that it comes to meet this center point again. The same thing again, this point here, I'll push it in to come inside here again, just to create another pleat. So here is what I mean. You see this midpoint? I'm making it come to this center, this same center where you have the zipper allowance. Are you seeing this? Okay, so in doing that, then I'm making a fold like this. Can you see this? So I'll go ahead and secure it with a pin as well. So the same process I'll repeat on this side. See this point? I'll make sure that this point here matches upwards to the center. Just open it up. You see what I'm doing? So in doing this, then I'm creating a fold again. Okay? So I'll just adjust it and then what? Pin it down. So here it is, guys. We're done. It's that easy. Like, it's that easy. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to make my stitch. So I'm going to run a stitch like this from the one point to the other. Okay, just a straight stitch. Or if you just want to do something, a little bit stylish, you can just make your stitch slant. Maybe you can go this way. You can make your stitch go this way to this point. Then you come here again and make this point. Okay, that's it. Or you can just make your straight stitch this way and you are done with the pleats. So turning this to the other side, you can see now how it looks from the outside. You can see when you open it up, you see how you've already placed it. So when I'm done with this, I'll just go ahead and give this a very, very good press so that it can be well relaxed. So this is it, guys. You can see this is so beautiful and easy. So once this is done, the next thing, of course, is to take my front piece, lay it over the back piece, right side facing each other, of course. Take my measurement from the waist to the hip and straight down, and of course this skirt is ready. So that is it, guys, on how to make this beautiful skirt with a back print. We have come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share my video. I will appreciate this a lot. And also, if you've not subscribed, please do that as well. Remember to on the notification bells on. Okay, it's the only way you get notified every single time I upload my weekly videos. Thank you again to all my subscribers. I appreciate you guys a whole lot. And again, if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop it in the comment sections. Okay, yeah, so till I see you on the next video, have a beautiful day.